All right. I did a public records request, and Trimet got right on it and got this board meeting up. And I told them right in my return that, I don't like bugging you for this shit, but I want my fucking Trimet TV. And here it is. So let's do a little bit. It takes about 6 episodes to get through this, but this is all going to be interesting from this point on.
For the first time, welcome to our virtual meetings. And I just realized it's been almost a year here very soon that we'll continue these meetings.
Yeah, these guys don't have to go anywhere anymore. They get to do it all from home now. Meanwhile, you bus drivers are suffering the effects of the collapse of civilization. Without any hazard pay, without any better health insurance, without even a COVID test. And by the way, Dougie has announced he's leaving. Yippee for him. He never cared about it in the first place. Just a job to him.
And I think I'm glad 2020 is almost over. We can start a new year. So the public forum is an opportunity for people to sign up.
Yeah, Warner is now into his second. This is his 10th year on the board. He was supposed to be off a year ago, but now he's on another year, so he's 10 years on this board. That's the corrupt Democrats of Oregon there. He's supposed to be gone, but Brown likes him, and he's ingrained in the establishment over there. And he's very good at deflecting criticism from Trimet, too. He needs to go.
And provide testimony to the board about issues of concern about Trimet or about any of the issues on our agenda. And anybody who's listening who wants to testify on the ordinances that we have on our agenda today, please be aware that we will have actual public hearings on each one of those ordinances set up for folks. We have this public forum for a maximum of 45 minutes before we enter our normal business meeting. I try to ask folks to limit their testimony to 3 minutes each. But again, we have 6 people from the Helping Hands Reentry Outreach Center and the Bayou Lakes Center that will make a presentation today. And then we have 1 other so far. So I think we're doing fine for time, but please be cognizant of the time. And I understand that.
What do you care about the time anymore? You're at home. Okay. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why does he even care how long they speak anymore? You're right in your house. You have all day. You're in COVID land.
That we have a number of members of the Oregon Senate that are going to testify this morning, and I want to get them up right away. So I'm going to call this group up front so that we can get them back to work and prepare.
Oh, I see. So the senators take priority over the citizens. Of course they do. Right? Of course. Yeah. Why make them wait? Make the citizens wait. That's the Trimet. That's the way it is. Not just Trimet, but all the government.
The legislative session starting in another few weeks. So with that, I think we're ready to go. What I'd like to do is ask Alan Evans, the CEO of.
And as I said, Kelsey's retired since this meeting. It's a big secret. I'm sure the directors all know this by now, but it's a big secret until today. This is how they operate.
Helping Hands Reentry Outreach Centers to introduce himself a little bit more and talk about why you're here. And welcome, by the way.
What is this all about?
Thank you very much, Bruce. Good morning, everybody. My name is Alan Evans, and I am the founder and CEO of the Bayou Lakes Hope Center at the Jordan Schnitzer campus. We've been open at this facility now for just under 2 months. We have several clients at our facility. We also want to say thank you for the.
Wow, he gets to be on TV with them. I don't think I've ever seen a public testimony with the public testimony person on the screen before.
The generous donation to our organization and trying to meet the needs of transportation back and forth to all of the stuff that our
Oh,
clients have to.
oh yeah, this is okay. I got it. I wasn't connecting the dots. This is the Inverness. This is the not the Inverness jail. This is the other jail that they didn't open. Whatever it was named. Anyway, they converted it to a homeless shelter, and so that's what these Bybee people are. Okay, it takes me a few minutes to get my mind together here.
Go to. Since we opened our doors, we've reached out to our local businesses, and they've reached out to us for employment opportunities for the clients who live at this facility. Two is we always knew that we have to have bus line. You guys extended the 11 bus line out. It's wonderful. There's a gap in service in the middle of the day.
Oh, great.
That's extremely difficult for people to get back and forth, and that's why we're here today. We reached out to our...
In other words, they gave you peak hour service, which means it's shit service. Yeah, that's great. Trimet, great. Just do as little as possible, as usual. Do you think they give them a bus once an hour at least for like the entire fucking day?
Our local partnering businesses that employ some of our people, and we found out that this is a common issue, is that opening and that gap in service to get people back and forth to where they need to get. So today we come to you with a request to see if we could fill that up at least Monday through Friday and get the bus lines out here so people have transportation.
Hell yeah.
And so that's a small thing. We've been open out at the facility. We've got 136 beds. We're going to be expanding another 220 beds here in the next few months.
Good.
We're filling up pretty good. It's wonderful. And if anybody would like a tour, I'd be glad to give you a tour out there. But that's my 3 minutes.
I would like a tour. Get a tour and put it up on YouTube. We'd like to see that. Okay, I want to see how that is over there. It'd be nice. Maybe they have it somewhere.
Unless you have something else that you'd like me to talk about.
No, maybe we'll get to the other speakers, then we'll see if anybody has any questions or comments afterwards. But I just want to congratulate you folks for getting that Wapato repurposed and under being open to help with the homeless problems and providing services to folks. So we're just pleased that we're able to help a bit, and we know we can probably partner up more, and so we look forward to what we can do with you. So I understand. I'm sorry. So what I'd like to do, I understand the next person that they want to call, I don't see her on my list. Is Senator Betsy Johnson here?
She is trying to get in. I'm working on that.
Okay. Well, can we go to Senator Elizabeth Steiner Hayward?
She has not joined the meeting.
Okay. Well, I do see Senator Lou Frederick.
Or anybody else.
So can we open up Lou Frederick's line?
Hello there. Can you hear me?
Can. Nice to see you too.
It's a couple of steps. So this is a different web connection than I'm usually using. So it was a few steps to get in. Listen, thank you. I want to thank you as well for the work you've done with the Bybee Lakes group. It has been remarkable and supportive of the kinds of folks who rarely get support, quite frankly. And so that makes a big difference. The facility is in my district, and so I'm pleased with that. I'm also pleased to see what we're able to get accomplished so far. The people who are out there already are getting support. They're getting to actually take charge of their own lives by way of the center, by way of just the space. It helps with whatever Trimet can do. To help them, it will make it even better for them and for others. We will be.
Let's get to a question right now. Actually, this one comes from Rose.
Be expanding here.
She sent it to the story at kgw.com.
We're getting good responses already. We're getting people. Getting a couple of companies have already hired folks out there, saying, and that makes a difference. They have a place to live, and that they have a job, and they know that they're going to have.
Yeah. See, look here's a room. So there's basically 4 people in the room. Well, it's better than being out in the cold. Okay, so $46 million bond. Oh, yeah. Right. In the mid-90s, Multnomah County voters approved $46 million bond to build a jail. But there's never any money to run it. But guess what? Somebody made $46 million on that bond. That's somebody raked in the money. That's how they do it, folks. Okay. Now, back to the board meeting.
Have a nice, safe place to live for a while there. That's a huge change for a lot of the folks who were there, and they're getting support. Anything we can do as individuals, but also as institutions like Trimet, will help them, and I think begin to give them confidence that there are things that they can actually get accomplished. So that's just my thing that I wanted to say. There are you mentioned Betsy Johnson and Elizabeth Steiner Hayward. Both senators are involved in this. A lot of other folks are watching it as carefully because we see this as a potential success. It's already being successful, but we think that on the long term it'll be a success. Please help with whatever you can, and that's my best.
Too bad we live in a mafia society where all the money was stolen by the billionaires. And here, you ditch people, here's what you get. Nice. Look at those bunk beds like for kids. The billionaires raked in $1 trillion, but you get these nice little bunk beds. That's right, you ditch people. It's the ditch or the nice bunk beds.
Best thing there to say, but I also have to say to my former student Bernie, I understand that you're retiring, which is completely uncalled for. You are younger than me, and you should not be retiring. Not being allowed to retire, but you've worked pretty hard to do this. So, okay, I guess we'll allow that this time.
Thank you, Senator. You taught me well.
Oh, Bernie Bottomley, yeah. From the famous Portland Bottomley family. The insiders of Portland, man.
Thank you, Senator Frederick. We really appreciate you being here this morning.
Senator Lou Frederick.
Jeff, did any of the other senators get in yet?
Not yet.
Okay. The next one I had then on the list was Dan Madro from Columbia Sportswear. Is he in?
Where's he? They got all the...
Not hearing him.
Yes, he is.
Okay,
Dan, you're muted, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
There you go.
Here, Columbia Sportswear. How much did they get out of the?
No, we're still muted.
CARES Act. Well, what's going on?
Can you hear me through the phone?
Yes, there we go. We got you now.
Okay. Well, we're patching it together here. But yeah, I appreciate you guys listening here. And I'm a senior recruiter with Columbia Sportswear for the River.
Wait. Clancy Pongy Murray, a leading security fraud law firm, announces an investigation of Columbia Sportswear. They're being investigated. That's great, man.
Rivergate distribution facility. We employ around, it's dependent on season, but anywhere from 500 to 1,000 employees at the facility. And we, along with, Alan, have experienced a lot of the issues with the public transportation, being able to get our employees to work. And then also with that gap in the middle of the day, it does cause an issue and a delay, and some workers having to get off their shift and then wait multiple hours before being able to use the Trimet system to ride home. So we're very much in favor of both looking at extending the bus routes, earlier in the mornings as well as through the midday. And a two-piece part of that is both wanting to provide jobs for the Trimet ridership, but then also service the employees that we do have out here that we are able to accommodate with the current Trimet systems in place and allow a more robust system to be able to get them to and from work in a timely manner.
Well, good luck with that, man. Good luck.
So, Mr. Madro, is your facility right outside the gates of the Bybee Lakes Hope Center?
Essentially, yeah. It's probably a quarter mile down the road, but it's off of Ledbetter and Marine Drive. Yeah.
So my observation would be that number 11 line should have a lot more ridership than it does, and do the employers out there actually understand the line, or is it just because of limitations that they're not able to utilize it?
I've had the issue for a while as far as not just the actual line itself, but many of our employees, other than a few exceptions in smaller departments, aren't able to utilize the transportation because it does not. For example, one of our shifts gets off at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and because of production planning and all that kind of stuff, we can't really flex around some of those finish times. So it makes it impossible for the worker to be able to utilize the line in the times that they need to utilize it. And then also, as far as earlier morning, or there's overtime on weekends, there is no service for those times. So those employees, we aren't able to hire those employees out here because of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's useless service, basically. Those peak hour services are basically useless because they only serve 9 to 5 workers, and it's not of any other use.
Thank you. Jeff, how are we doing on the other senators?
I am sending a call out to Betsy Johnson to see if we can get her just on the phone. Okay. That is in process.
Okay. Well, I see Lee Calcano is here. Do we want to go on to him?
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and do that?
Yeah, go on to him for all the good it does.
How's it going, everyone?
Good morning.
Morning. So I'm the staffing coordinator here for the Bybee facility over at for OIA Global, and we're actually just down the road from the Columbia facility as well. So we actually experience a lot of the same difficulties. We have had a hard time filling positions just because of transportation issues. There's a certain price point that you have to hit with the dollar amount to try to incentivize people who have cars, because that's just generally the more reliable, form of transportation for people to get to work. Relying on public transit is just not something in the cards right now, especially because we've opened up from 1 shift to 2 shifts. So the evening shift, the end of the shift ends around 11 o'clock, which just makes it really hard for people to get home, seeing as how there's not a bus running at that time. During the middle of the day, if we have sick employees that need to go home, that's not really an option. They have to wait around in our facility for a couple hours for a bus to come. It's just not, it's hard. It makes it very hard for us to recruit.
What he's describing is a non-functioning transit system. Okay? You don't have transit to that facility. That's what he's telling you. You do not have transit to that facility. Okay? It's fake service. It's fake.
And to staff properly. We'd like to be able to incentivize better. And part of that package of incentives would just be having better transportation.
Great. Thank you for your testimony this morning. Appreciate it.
You appreciate it.
Any luck there, Jeff?
No, not yet.
Okay. Do you want to, Alan, did you have something else you wanted to add? I'm seeing you raising your hand there.
Yeah, if I may, I've talked to both Betsy and Elizabeth Steiner Hayward, and it was a difficult time to try to get on. I know that Betsy wanted to be on here. We also have a letter from the mayor's office in support of what we're asking today, and I'll make sure that gets sent right over. The mayor was going to attempt to come on, but that did not happen. So I just wanted you guys all to know that.
All right. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Why don't you hang on for just a few minutes? Maybe we'll go. There's one other person that wants to testify this morning, not related to this group, right, Jeff?
That is correct.
Why don't you see if we can get them on, and we'll see if we can get to the senators here right after that.
Okay. So we're going to go to Lee H. Lee, I just unmuted your phone.
Hi, can y'all hear me?
We can. Thank you.
Awesome. My name is Lee Helfand, they, them pronouns. I am with Opal Environmental Justice Oregon and Bus Riders Unite. I would like to speak about several things this morning. First, about Red House on Mississippi in North Portland. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about what's happening up there, but it is an eviction of one of the last Black families in the immediate area. And activists are calling for pushback against.
Let's get to a question right now, actually. This one comes from Rose. She sent it to the story.
So I think in a broader conversation around policing, it's important to recognize that this is still happening outside of the protests and uprisings that were happening over the summer and continue to this day. So for all the community leaders on the call right now, I would just urge you to either reach out to me personally via chat if you don't know what I'm speaking about and I can give you more information, or to contact other community leaders in the area to immediately put a stop to this eviction notice. I would then quickly like to speak to the appointments process. We know that the appointment process has been delayed. However, we would also like it noted that Bus Riders Unite has been advocating against policing practices under your all purview for quite some time now, and that we believe that...
yeah, and Trimet says everybody wants policing. Our survey shows that 99% people want more police, and 75% of those are Black people. They want more police.
Appointing or elevating the leadership of former officers, corrections officers, former police of any sort, any relation to the carceral system is not due diligence and justice towards the anti-police violence movements that have been happening. And then speaking on the Reimagining Public Safety Committee, we know a part of that process has ended, but we also know that there is likely to be more committees built out of this process. And we would like to request access for both Opal and Bus Riders Unite to be placed on these committees.
Absolutely.
We know there's been a contentious relationship.
Absolutely, they should be on those committees. Absolutely. See, this is Kelsey departing. It doesn't matter. We'll just get some other hack to take over it. You know, those people are interchangeable. You can move these executives around from one place to another, and you won't even notice that they've gone from one for the other. They're like little chess pieces. You just move them to different boards.
At multiple points throughout this process and in the past, and we would like to continue the conversation even when it is most difficult. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your testimony this morning. I do see Senator Betsy Johnson on the screen now. So good morning. If you can hear us, the floor is yours, Senator Johnson.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, and I've been listening on the telephone. Catching the bus anywhere in your system is easier than getting into this meeting.
Yeah, that was
I've listened to all of the testimony. For the record, my name is Betsy Johnson. I proudly represent Senate District 16. I was one of the negotiators that helped pass House Bill 2017 with its expanded transit resources. As Mr. Evans explained, I'm also proudly one of the group trying to reanimate the Bybee Lakes Hope Center as a place of refuge, recovery, and reentry.
Who is she?
Chair Warner, you and Trimet have been exceptionally helpful and encouraging up to this point. We are making tremendous progress. Today, I'm here with my colleagues in support of the expanded service at the Bybee Lakes Hope Center. We don't use the W word anymore. For two really important reasons. One is that the naysayers who said that it was going to be impossible to use Bybee Lakes cited the lack of transportation and said that it doomed the use of the Bybee Lakes Hope Center. With your substantial help, we are overcoming, if not having overcome, that obstacle. The second is, as you just heard from the business representatives, these fine Oregon businesses located in the vicinity of Bybee Lakes Hope Center are offering employment to our recovering clients. This is one of the most important steps to recovery and self-sufficiency. Augmented transportation would greatly increase the likelihood of meaningful participation in the workforce. And with your support, the evolving dream of Bybee Lakes Hope Center is becoming a reality. I thank you for your past support. We enthusiastically support augmented service. And thank you for your time and your patience as I struggled with the technology to join you this morning.
Well, so pleased that you're here, and thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for what you're about to do in the next session. I know you're going to be spending a lot of time on a lot of tough issues. So again, we appreciate it. And your support of public transit and the funding measure was really monumental, in my opinion. So congratulations to you and everybody else. I guess I should let you know that Doug Kelsey, the general manager, I've talked about this a little bit. And as I said in my comments earlier, I think that area, there's a lot of employment out there, and it just seems like they should be able to use transit more than they are. So hopefully we can have a dialogue with you folks and with some of the businesses out there to figure out what we might be able to do. It's clear that our resources are stretched right at the moment because of the downward trends in ridership and revenues. But, we want you to be successful out there. That's clear. So,
well, I think we're committed, Mr. Chair, to spreading the word. I think there's some public education that needs to occur to let businesses know that there could be augmented service, that their support and ridership is going to be important. I would love to see that whole district become a place of the utilization of transit for work, rather than just moving people around in an urban setting. If that could become the demonstration campus for inter-business transfers, the employment opportunities for Bybee Lake, and I think with your help, we would happily undertake an education opportunity to share with the businesses out there how it's in their best interest to utilize the service. And it certainly serves us in order to expand the employment base for our clients. When we are fully built out, and Mr. Evans was sharing with me last night the charitable gift of a whole lot of more resources for the interior of the building, when we are completely built out and have people in recovery seeking meaningful employment, moving towards self-sufficiency, we're going to be a powerful source of manpower and woman power.
This is all bullshit, man, okay? They've just stolen $1 trillion, okay? These people just stole $1 trillion from the Treasury for themselves. And here they are trying to preach to the dispossessed. Oh, you dispossessed. We're going to help you, man. You can't help them when you're fucking running a mafia society. Okay, this is a mafia society run by the mob. They called itself Democrats and Republicans. They're the mob for the oligarchs. We'll help you poor ditch people, but we're gonna steal all the money for ourselves so that we can buy another mansion. But we'll help you poor ditch people.
to supplement the openings at those jobs as they recover, please God, in a post-COVID Oregon. And so I think we have the opportunity to not just serve the businesses, but make a demonstration project that could serve as a model for the rest of the state as we build out the efficacy, efficiency, and economies of the utilization of transit.
Yeah, whatever.
Thank you. Thank you. Jeff, was there anybody else that wished to testify before us this morning?
No, that's all I've got.
Okay. Well, Mr. General Manager, before we say goodbye to these folks, is there anything else you want to add this morning?
There is. Firstly, I want to thank everybody for just being the champions to help.
And here he is. He already knows he's leaving, and the board already knows he's leaving. But nobody else knows he's leaving. And he's going to do this whole meeting without telling anybody he's leaving. And he's going to announce it a week later. But we all know that everybody there knows this is happening.
Bybee Lakes. We're here. We're arriving as you've taken the risk and the courage to actually get it open. So, and I want to also acknowledge our President Warner here as well, who's also been affiliated and trying to help advance this cause as well.
Yeah, President Warner with his $15,000 a month pension. Yeah. You have the elites, the technocratic elites who are the ones that implement the new world order, the COVID world order on the rest of us, raking in the fortunes. Then they're going to help us. Sure, they're going to help us. Look, yeah, it's all going to be great.
So we've made some progress, but we need to continue the conversation around what the future could look like.
You're a lying
and grounded in the pragmatism of our financial and other realities.
Your financial
I had a prior conversation, Mr. Mudro, with your CEO at Columbia Sportswear. He and I spoke, it was pre-COVID. That's all I know. It was just a big blur prior. So, and he had offered in our conversation to actually work together to actually even start reaching out to the community and even doing surveys and such. So who actually might take it? To have a bus running around that's empty is not a winning formula. It's not going to win long term. So as we all spend taxpayer dollars, and we're all taxpayers too, me too, it's how do you do it in a cost-effective way where...
This is the problem that we have with public transit. The military doesn't have to answer any questions like this. The police don't ever have to answer any questions, only things that the people use. It has to be, we're running empty buses. It costs the taxpayer. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we've just handed out trillions of dollars to the stock market. And so for some reason, nobody connects these dots. And this guy, Kelsey, this overpaid hack from Canada, perpetuates, that's why they pay him the big bucks, because he continues the lie. He continues the lie. He perpetuates the lie for the oligarchy.
We can create wins. And I think that, in my mind, is a North Star for, there's a lot of room for a conversation in here, I think, as to what's possible. For some of you may know, we've already donated a bus to Bybee Lakes and painted it. We're actually allocating our staff there to go inside Bybee Lakes when you're ready to help educate those who maybe have never had the privilege of using transit. So how we can help educate them, create the confidence to use the system of the future. It's a bit too...
We're not going to have... Well, we have till March to listen to this guy, so we got a long time here. So, I mean, we still got... January, February, yeah, we still got 3 more months of listening to him. His bullshit nonsense.
Ms. Johnson, your comment, Senator Johnson, around how do you create a new place, a new mindset, a new outcome. So I think there's there. I don't know what that looks like, but I think we are committed to having that conversation to explore what's possible, but grounded in the pragmatism of our financial challenges.
Yeah, your financial challenges. Here we go. Our financial challenges. Here we go, man. For 2000. Right, it's Forbes. In raw terms, the world's billionaires are worth $8 trillion. Wait a minute. Well, this must be old because This must be old because we all know. Wait a minute. Wait. Billionaires' wealth increase. Okay, let's get a more recent. Here, okay. Billionaires' wealth rises to 10.2 trillion in the middle of fucking millions going into the ditch. Super rich increased fortunes by more than a quarter during market turmoil. And this guy got the nerve to tell us we don't have the money. We don't have the money.
I think so. So stay tuned. Alan, I'm going to assume you're the point person on this. I see a thumb going up. So we will have probably our point person, Tom Mills, who probably doesn't know this yet, but he's now by this is going to be reaching out to you.
Yeah,
so
now wait, stop. Okay. The report found that billionaires had mostly benefited from betting on the recovery of the global stock market. Okay, the stock market is the money laundering scheme of the elites that nobody understands. The stock market is a fraud. That's how they launder your tax money to the billionaires. The number of billionaires also hit a new high of 2,189, up from 2,158. Billionaires did extremely well during the COVID crisis. Not only did they ride the storm to the downside, but they gained to the upside. Yeah, it was all a scam. They set that whole thing up. But no, you can't have a bus running empty. No, you can't have a bus running empty. I've had enough for today. Goodbye.